All right, well, welcome back. Well, I have my colleague Natasha Phiri here with me. We are at the heart of the IEC's National Results Operations Centre. Natasha, we just had a briefing earlier on. What were some of the pertinent points that were raised by the Chief Electoral Officer?
Well, very good afternoon to you, 19, of course, to our SABC viewers. Definitely, we had that first briefing by Mr. Simon Mamabolo and other IEC officials, just taking us through, special votes, what actually happened today. We know that voting stations opened at 8 a.m., got off to a smooth start. Despite some glitches, overnight we had challenges due to the weather, some tents, being blown away at other voting stations. But of course, those issues were resolved. We also saw our reporter, Palisa Moeti in Sasolburg, also just reporting on, such issues as well, saying that some voting stations, some tents had been blown away, but the issues were actually resolved overnight. But also other issues like service delivery protests in the Eastern Cape. Bulelani Phillips was actually there earlier on. We know that some voting stations were closed due to service delivery protests outside those voting stations, but the IEC also assuring us that they will be open tomorrow. And of course, earlier on this week, we heard the Justice, I beg your pardon, not the Justice Minister, but there's a cluster of ministers, including Police Minister Pegicele and of course Minister Thandi Modise, just also assuring South Africans that they will not tolerate such incidences that we saw in the Eastern Cape, Unaiti. Also assuring, voters that there will be free and fair elections. Police will be on high alert and deployed to those voting stations. We know about 300 voting stations United have been declared as high risk. So, of course, we also saw that announcement yesterday by the President saying that those 10,000 SANDF members will be deployed to actually help, with the election. So these are just some of the issues that were raised today. Also, another pertinent issue, United, would be, voter turnout on Monday. As earlier on, we spoke to Liesel, and the issue of, voter turnout came up. This is the first time in the history of the country that we've had, an election day on a Monday. So this is actually a long weekend. We've seen people, going on holiday, but Mr. Mamabolo just pleading there with those 26.2 registered voters to actually go out in their numbers and actually go cast their ballots on Monday.
And of course, we know that in this special voting period, there's 1.1 million people who have registered vote. I wonder then, what we'll see, if we'll see those numbers trickling in by tomorrow when those voting stations do close. But Natasha, as I was saying, this centre, there's already officials here. It is buzzing, even though we are we are one day and a couple of hours away from the main elections. Talk to me about what we are looking at here in the centre.
Where we're currently standing is the heart of the IEC. It's quite a pivotal, area. We call it the cross. As you see, you've got IEC officials stationed at their various computers. This is where the numbers will then start trickling in. These are the officials that will be capturing the numbers starting from this evening and tomorrow, and of course the pivotal night of the 1st of November after voting stations actually close at 9 p.m. Behind me, Unati, is where various political parties are situated. I see members there of the FF Plus. They're also working on their systems. There's also a representative there from the Good Party. And of course, we can expect this place, like you said, to be a hive of activity starting from tomorrow. Just behind you there is legal services. And of course, that is where legal issues will, somewhat be raised or sorted out with the IEC's legal team. On the other side, unfortunately, we don't have a camera that's situated there, but it's the PLC room, and that's the Political Party Liaison Committee. And that's where the IEC will be briefing, various political party leaders that are actually represented in the National Assembly, provincial legislatures and municipal councils.
And of course, we've got our SABC radio stations also also positioned here and also bringing you live rolling coverage. Natasha, thank you so much for that update. And of course, we'll be speaking to you throughout the course of today. But I'd like us to now take this point of that security that you've mentioned with this next story, and that is... All right, we unfortunately don't have that story at the moment, but Natasha will certainly be communicating with you throughout the course of today.